Welcome back to another wonderful episode here at MSA. So glad you could join us. And I'll tell you what, today is a very interesting one. We're going to be talking about Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Yep, you heard it right. And let me tell you, this is not stuff you're going to get anywhere else. I promise you. It's not going to float across the TV land or anything like that. And if it does, it's going to be super, mega, massively derogatory. Now, before we get into any of this, do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. We need you to hit that like button. A couple weird things have been going on with the account lately, and we just want to make sure that everything's on the up and up, as well as share. Send it to everybody you know. That this is something you're going to want to share with people, trust me. Okay, now, getting into this whole thing. Today is a special day. They've released the information on Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs and or name list or whatever. We're finding that it's not as much of a name list as everyone was anticipating. It's quite a few documents that are naming people and things, and it's going to take a minute to dissect, and some of it's information that people knew and all of that. Prior to that being released, Glenn Beck went on the air and was going through a few things that really pertain to Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's involvement with him, as well as another very popular name, Bill Clinton. So we're going to roll a clip. Want you to hear exactly what's being said. And then we're going to come back and talk about it for a minute. Because this, trust me, this is going to blow your mind. Okay? Do us a favor. Pay close attention to his words, because you don't want to get any of this misconstrued. This is a really, really important one, all right? So, we'll see you in just a minute, all right? Can't wait to show you this. Be right back.
The Daily Mail reported that the CBS producer Ira Rosen's new book, Ticking Clock, Behind the Scenes at 60 Minutes, in the book, he alleges that Maxwell, the woman that was helping Epstein,
Ghislaine Maxwell,
refused to help locate the tapes that Epstein had recorded that included Bill Clinton, but he did imply that she did imply that they existed. The outlet reported the book sheds new light on reported claims that Epstein had secretly recorded his celebrity friends having sex with women and underage girls at his home, then used the footage to blackmail him. We know that's true. We just don't know who he was doing it for, and my guess is the federal government. In his new book, Daily Wire reported former CBS producer Ira Rosen said he asked in 2016 for the footage of Donald Trump that Epstein might have shot, only to have Maxwell respond, "If you get the tapes on Trump, you have to do Bill Clinton." He said, listen to this. "I want the tapes. I know Epstein was videotaping everyone, and I want the tapes of Trump with the girls." Maxwell said, "I don't know where they are. Ask Epstein." The guy who was running 60 Minutes said, "The fate of the country is at stake." So it wouldn't be a problem for Clinton. It would only be a problem for Trump. He said Trump could be elected president. How would you feel if those tapes emerged after he was in office? Maxwell, he said, gave me a stern look and pointed a finger in my face. And she said, "I am the daughter of a press baron. I know the way you people think. If you do one side, you must do the other. If you get tapes on Trump, you have to do Clinton."
Wow.
I mean, here's a woman that was setting up underage girls to be basically raped, and yet she has more ethics than the guy running CBS 60 Minutes. Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Now, I tie that with this that you're not going to get in the mainstream. A video resurfaced Tuesday of attorney Bradley Edwards discussing former President Donald Trump's attitude and actions towards late child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein following the latter's first arrest. Edwards has represented more than 70 victims of Jeffrey Epstein since 2009. 70. Let me just say that again. 70 underage victims who were victims of people in the highest offices of the world, and you don't know who they are. Because I guess you can't handle it. He's represented more than 70 victims of Jeffrey Epstein, is largely credited with helping bring the child sex trafficker to justice. In a video that circulated online yesterday and originally was released by the Conscious Resistance Network in 2018, Edwards told the site's founder, Derek Brose, about his perspective on Trump's involvement in the situation. Brose cited a case brought against Trump by two former alleged victims of Epstein, which was dropped before reaching court. He asked Edwards his opinion of the validity of those claims. This is from the attorney of the victims. He said, when asked about Trump's involvement, the only thing I can say about President Trump is that he was the only person who in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas against a lot of people, he was the only person that actually picked up the phone and said, let's talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you anything you need to know. And Trump was very helpful in the information that he gave. He gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever. But he had good information that checked out and that helped us. And we didn't have to take a deposition of him. Brose then asked if claims regarding Trump's kicking Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago were true, to which Bradley replied that he had definitely heard that. Trump has previously said that he had a falling out with Epstein 15 years ago, but never elaborated. Later reports, some involving Bradley, alleged that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and permanently banned him from the resort because Epstein had, quote, sexually assaulted an underage girl at the club, end quote. So the republic is at stake because of Trump. When the evidence looks like Trump probably was a helper to the victims. But Bill Clinton, who we know likes to dilly-dally. I don't know with underage women, have no idea, but that is what Jeffrey Epstein was best at. We don't know anything about him.
All right, you got to see that clip. Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing how much truth was in that clip. It also puts a little bit of ease because people kept bringing up Donald Trump and people would bring up former, President Bill Clinton and all that stuff. You're thinking, Trump, what would Trump be doing on Epstein Island and all that stuff? And then you find out, wait a minute, it's a little bit different than that. So let's just do a quick recap on this. So Maxwell is getting grilled by the owner of 60 Minutes. And he's telling her, hey, we need those tapes on Trump. And she's like, if you're going to do Trump, you got to do Clinton. And he's saying the fate of the country rests in this. Now, think about why he's saying that. That's right before the 2016 election. So what do you think he was planning on doing? He wanted to drop a bomb. Now, of course, he doesn't want to do anything with Bill Clinton. Now, why would you want to do anything like that? That's just crazy, right? But let's just take Trump out, even though the American public was loving him back then, he got elected. Well, we'll just take him out. We'll just run some real big, juicy story on him and trash his reputation, and that way he'll get taken out. But anything the former president did, we'll leave that alone. That's basically what the guy was saying. And that's basically why she was standing up, saying if you're going to do one, you have to do the other. The second part of this is, when you look at the attorney Edwards, and he was talking, first off, that he had had 70 clients that he represented on behalf of Jeffrey Epstein, the victims. 70. What names are behind that? What? 70? That's insanity. What names are behind that? Because Epstein didn't rub elbows with just schmoes, blue collar workers and things of that nature. He rubbed elbows with the highest class of society of all over the world. So if he had 70 victims, I would sure like to see that list as well. But getting into that, when he had subpoenaed everybody out there to bring everybody in, and one of those subpoenas was with Donald Trump, and Trump was the only one to respond, and he talked to the guy at length and gave him all the information that he knew, basically, or wanted to give him, to the point where he didn't have to be called in for a deposition. What does that tell you? Trump knows a lot of what has gone on. It also tells you if Epstein got thrown out of Mar-a-Lago and told, don't ever come back, you're blacklisted from here, that also tells you he doesn't have anything on Trump, because he would have easily blackmailed him back then. This goes back a little ways. But now when you look at this was back in 2009. No wonder people are getting nervous. No wonder people are upset to this day. Think real long and hard. Why do you think Hillary's trying to trash on old Don Trump? She doesn't want her husband dragged through the mud. It doesn't matter what their relationship is. You got the Clinton Foundation on the line here. Okay? The Clinton Foundation, don't be misled. There was a Ponzi scheme that was put to rest. There was two people involved. There was a gentleman, I can't remember the gentleman's name, and Epstein was one of them. All right? That Epstein got pulled out of it. The other guy took the fall. Epstein resurfaced in the White House for the Restoration Project. He was doing the fundraising for that. And he worked directly for the First Lady, Hillary Clinton. That's where Epstein resurfaced. So if you wonder why you're going to hear her name mentioned, that she was in the flight logs and all that stuff, it's because her and Epstein had a big relationship. And I'm not talking romantic. I'm just talking they had a relationship, because the work that he did on the fundraising for the White House is what ended up turning into the Clinton Foundation. It also helped start the Gates Foundation. So we'll just name drop another one while we're in there. Either way, I'm absolutely blown away over the fact that President Donald Trump went forward, helped put this stuff in order, and it completely makes sense now as to why everyone is trying to push him out. And especially now, because if you think after the 2020 election and the way he feels, I'm talking about the way Donald Trump feels about how that went down, and now look at what's going on with him now. Imagine why they're so nervous, so scared. Because if Trump starts dropping things that he knows to get back at the people that are trying to victimize him, it could turn out to be some pretty juicy stuff. I mean, things that we have never heard before, with names that we never even knew existed, that are in high powers all over the place. I'm almost positive. That's my opinion. Now, do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. We really want to hear from you on this one, and we're not going to keep going on and on and on about it. We've already talked enough. We want you to have a great day, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. We do actually love every one of you and hope that we see you again soon, because we'll be coming out with a lot more content. All right? Take care of yourself. We'll see you later. Have a great one.